All right, so now we're going to look at a more difficult problem with the normal distribution and kind of work through it. This is definitely above your achieve level. It's more complicated. So the first step, let's read this question here and highlight any key information. So normally distributed with a standard deviation of 0.6, yeah? And we also have our probability there of 0.0179, and it's probably that it weighs more than some given value. So this here is our x. So if we were to just quickly label these, you've got your standard deviation, you've got your probability, and you've got your x. Now from here, the first step is always good to draw a diagram. So we draw our normal curve like so, not perfect, but it'll do. We add in our mean here. Now in this case, you can see from the question that we don't know the mean. So for our mean, it remains unknown. Although we do know the standard deviation, yeah, and that is 0.6. Now we know the probability of being more than 4 kgs is essentially 1.79%. So we're talking about it's only a very small proportion that's going to be above that. So that probability there is 0.0179. And this line here is at 4. Now remember when we're using the tables, we find it in between the line, like the mean, and the line that we're trying to find. So we're talking about all of this area here. Yeah, we're trying to find all of that. So to calculate that, we go 0.5, take away that probability, which equals 0.4821. Now this is the probability that we then need to look at our table. Try to get as close to 0.4821 as we can. So let's go to the normal distribution table. So here's our table here. Now we're not looking up 0.48 here because we don't know the z-score. We're trying to find the z-score. So 0.4821, so 0.474821. There it is, perfectly there. We don't have to use any differences or anything like that. So it's actually just 2.10 is our z value. Cool, so now we know that z is equal to 2.1. So if you think of the formula here that you're given on your formula sheet, the z equals x minus mu over sigma, we can then substitute some values into it to calculate what the mean is. So let's have a go doing that. So we're going to go, so we know our z, so we know that's equal to 2.1. We know our x, which is 4. We don't know our mean, but we do know our standard deviation. So this is our formula here. The only thing we don't know in that formula is our mu. So what we can do is just do a little bit of algebra solving. So opposite of dividing by 0.6 is we can times by 0.6. So that makes the equation 1.26 equals 4 minus m. And so what does m equal? Well, m is just going to be equal, mu equals 4 minus 1.26, which means that equals 2.74 kgs. So that would be the answer to that one. We'd have to answer, we answer in the question, mean backpack weight is 2.74 kilograms.